Hello, my name is Lou Mejia. I'm the Director of Compliance and Title IX Coordinator at the Catholic University of America. Today's module covers the university's prohibition of sexual misconduct under the federal law known as Title IX and our own policies. We are committed to providing a safe environment for all members of our community to work and study. To that end, there is no place at the Catholic University of America for sexual misconduct and sexual violence. We take this seriously and expect everyone in our community to do the same. In this training module, we'll cover Title IX and our related policies that govern sexual misconduct. The type of conduct that will violate Title IX, our policies, or both, your rights in the event you are the subject of sexual misconduct, your responsibilities. There are important expectations of you to support a culture that does not tolerate sexual misconduct and to assist those who are subjected to it. Mandatory reporting. Some of you have positions that require you to take certain steps if you become aware of sexual misconduct. Confidentiality and privacy issues that are associated with matters involving sexual misconduct, and the support services that we offer to students who are subject to sexual misconduct. Title IX is a federal law. It prohibits sex discrimination. You may have heard of Title IX in the context of athletics, where the law is intended to provide reasonable opportunities in sports to women and men. And the law also prohibits sexual misconduct in various forms. We also have policies at the university that prohibit sexual misconduct. If certain conduct is not covered by Title IX, it will be covered by our own policies. Detailed information on Title IX and university policies is on our website. You should be familiar with the policies, and we'll cover the key parts in today's session. There are various forms of sexual misconduct that are prohibited. Sex discrimination, sexual harassment, sexual assault, the forcible or non-forcible sexual act or sexual contact that occurs without the consent of the other person. Dating and domestic violence committed by an offender upon a person who shares a mutual residence or is or was married to or is or was in a romantic or dating relationship. Stalking. Examples include showing up to a person's home or place of work uninvited. And stalking can also be by electronic means. For example, by sending excessive text messages or emails of an alarming nature. You should know that certain consensual relationships that you have with others at the university may also violate our policies. For example, a supervisor cannot engage in a relationship with a subordinate. A professor may not engage in a relationship with a student over whom he or she has grading or supervisory authority. There are many types of conduct that will constitute sexual harassment. Quid pro quo is the conditioning of a benefit on an individual's participation in unwelcome sexual conduct. Unwanted physical contact, unwanted kissing, unwanted touching. Other inappropriate or unwelcome conduct. For example, comments about someone's body and appearance. A supervisor who repeatedly asks a staff member to go on a date after she says no, asking someone about their dating life. Verbal slurs, derogatory comments, or insults that are based on sex. Displaying or circulating certain materials, such as pornography. If you are the subject of sexual misconduct, you should report it. You can report it to the Department of Public Safety, the Title IX coordinator, or the Dean of Students. You can also report it to the Metropolitan Police Department. If you wish to pursue a formal process against the offender here at the university, you should file a formal complaint with the Title IX coordinator. Your report will be treated as a private matter, and information will only be shared with others on a need-to-know basis. If you want the matter investigated, it will be done so promptly and thoroughly. Our internal procedures to determine responsibility are designed to be fair to all parties by providing notice of the allegations, a fair investigation, and a chance to be heard and to present evidence and witnesses. Offenders are subject to university sanctions, including termination, suspension, probation, and other sanctions as appropriate. We have a policy that prohibits an individual from retaliating against another who has reported sexual misconduct. An individual engaged in retaliation will be disciplined by the university, up to and including termination. All of us at Catholic University are responsible for creating a culture that helps prevent sexual misconduct from occurring. And it starts with each of us being aware of the rules and how our own conduct could constitute sexual misconduct. You can help prevent sexual misconduct in a number of ways. For example, speaking up when you hear comments or observe behaviors that support or foster sexual misconduct. Identifying and safely stopping situations before they happen. Speaking up or stepping in where safe to do so during an incident. And you should also be supportive of any individual after an incident. And that means being knowledgeable about the support services that we offer to students who are subject to sexual misconduct. And we'll talk about some of those support services in a few minutes. In cases of sexual assault, where medical care is necessary, our Department of Public Safety can assist the survivor by arranging for treatment at Washington Hospital Center. This is the only facility in DC that has nurses trained to help those who have been sexually assaulted. Title IX regulations require the university to respond promptly when it learns of potential sex-based discrimination. Now, how do we make sure that the university gets notice and information about potential sexual misconduct so that we can take action? And it's through the use, in part, of mandatory reporters. These are individuals that are identified as having specific responsibility for reporting any behavior that has the potential to be harassing. Some of you in today's session may be mandatory reporters, supervisors, certain faculty members, officials with significant responsibility. various individuals within the Department of Athletics, and professional staff in certain departments. To determine whether you are a mandatory reporter, please check our website where there is a list of mandatory reporters by title and duty. The main responsibility, if you become aware of potential sex discrimination, including sexual harassment, assault, dating violence, domestic violence, or stalking, you are required as a mandatory reporter to report it to the Title IX coordinator, the Dean of Students, or the Department of Public Safety. This is whether you hear about it from someone who experienced the conduct directly, or you learn about it secondhand from another source. You should report conduct and the allegations of conduct that could constitute sexual harassment, even if you're not certain that it in fact occurred. If you are not sure whether it meets the definitions in Title IX or our sexual offenses policies, you should seek guidance. You don't have to decide where it fits or if it is an actual violation. You are only required to report. We have options for students and employees who report sexual misconduct but want complete confidentiality. Individuals who want complete confidentiality can discuss their situation with any of the following: a counselor at the counselor center, a licensed medical professional such as a doctor or nurse practitioner at the Student Health Services, a member of the clergy when acting in his pastoral capacity. For example, a priest who is a professor would not be acting in his pastoral capacity if he's advising you as your professor. An off-campus licensed rape counselor, such as at the DC Rape Crisis Center. These are all confidential sources where reports will have complete confidentiality. The university offers a number of support services to students. These support services are available and must be offered regardless of whether a formal complaint is filed by the student. And they are available to both the complainant and the respondent. These measures are designed to restore or preserve equal access to the university's education program or activity without unreasonably burdening the other party. The university can issue a no-contact order if the alleged perpetrator is a Catholic university student. The university can issue this order that prohibits interaction between the two students. The no-contact order does not assume guilt and is not a finding of responsibility. If the alleged perpetrator is not a Catholic university student, our Department of Public Safety can help victims obtain a civil protection order from the DC Police. These orders typically prohibit the alleged perpetrator from coming within a specified distance of the victim. Dean of Students can also assist students with residential changes if those are necessary for the safety of students. And the Dean of Students can also help with academic assistance and can notify professors of sensitive situations that may impact a student's ability to attend class or remain focused on their academic responsibilities. We also have an excellent counseling center here on campus, as well as a campus ministry where students can seek assistance. We also have a fantastic Dean of Students office here that offers academic and emotional support for both complainants and respondents. That concludes this training module on Title IX and sexual misconduct. If you have any questions about what we have covered today, please reach out to me. I'd be happy to help and to offer guidance. And thank you for participating in today's training.